Hey everyone, it's Janae with Sutra Yoga. This is part 2 of Headstand Strength. For those of you that have taken the first tutorial and maybe you have found your headstand unsupported and it feels very strong, but you want to find a little bit of movement to challenge yourself a little bit further, I'm going to show you a few variations that you can practice in order to really build the core strength that you need to find some control, to add some leg movements and variations to your headstand. Again, like anything else, practice, practice, practice. With discipline, there's big payoff. What I'm going to have you do is come into a headstand, and you can use this same technique of using the chair to help walk yourself up and or down out of the pose if you need it. If you are in a very strong position, you can just let go of the chair or back it up so that it's there if you need it, but you don't necessarily have to use it. We're going to come into your headstand by placing our forearms on the mat, elbows shoulder width apart. We're going to interlace the fingers to start, but if you feel more comfortable with your palms down towards the earth, feel free to do that by all means. We're going to place the crown of the head on the floor between the forearms. We're going to curl the toes under, lift the hips, walk the feet forward, and slowly curl up into our headstand. And once you find this position, maybe you need to use the wall for support first, and then kick away from the wall and find your supported pose. That's perfectly fine. To find that additional strength in your core, to start finding control, we're going to add a simple movement of coming out of your posture with control, kind of peeling down or floating down out of the pose as opposed to just coming to the floor in a thud. So I want you to start by bending the legs, shifting the weight of the hips back just a little bit, and slowly drawing the knees down towards the earth and trying to curl down as slowly as possible. It's a very hard thing to do when you're rolling up, much easier to do when you're rolling down. So try to do that over and over again, and over time you're going to find that that very heavy, very thuddish sound is going to start to feel more like you're floating and controlling the dismount. And then from there, if you want to go one step further, coming into your headstand, you can also challenge yourself by bringing the legs down very slowly into a 90-degree angle. So shifting the weight of the hips back slightly, and then folding the legs towards the earth until they're about parallel to the floor, holding here for a couple of breaths just to find a little bit of strength, and then slowly floating the feet all the way down. And you're going to feel a lot of low back strength kick in there as well. But once you get a nice strong core, you can start to add a lot of variation. So again, coming up into your headstand, if you want to add a couple of different variations from here, you can start to work with half lotus, bending maybe your right leg to start, and then trying to hook the toes onto the upper left thigh, opening the knee up towards the ceiling. And just adding these little movements are going to challenge your core and help you find a little bit more stability in the pose so that you can challenge and try to practice these in more of a vinyasa sequence. And from here, just coming down again with as much control as possible. And again, even if you're only practicing a couple of times a day, you're just going to find with that constant practice, you're going to get all that much stronger, that much faster. So don't forget to breathe, especially when you're inverting and taxing yourself. Make sure you're breathing heavy. Push through the forearms so you're not compressing the discs in the neck. And I'll see you in class.